The golden sun winked a cascade of blinding light upon the shades of tall grass and cornfields in the meadows. There were no houses for miles except for a small ranch house on top of a cedar hill. An old man sat on the bench of his porch. This old man was named Frank. He was a retired broker, feeble, well into the 80s, and his legs could no longer be trusted by a cane. For most of his life, he never smoked. After his retirement, however, he enjoyed sucking down on his wooden pipe and watched for nature. The screen door swung open. He had been meaning to fix the hinges. His wife, Agnes, stumbled out with a cane. Her wrist sent shocks and vibrations down on her cane. Frank looked up at her with her bundled gray hair, her creased face, and her polka-dotted nightgown that she never planned on changing because they weren't leaving the house that day. She was just as beautiful when he first met her. Her shuffling feet helped her join next to him on the bench. Not a word was spoken as each of them quietly admired the view of the endless cornfield and horizon. Frank just kept puckering his lips. He liked to play with his dentures in his mouth. It used to annoy Agnes, but she got used to it over the years. A wind settled in. The cornfield swayed like blankets tossed in the rain. It sent a chill down both Frank and Agnes' spine. Agnes finally craned her head to him. Frank noticed, but he was still entranced with the beauty of nature. She said to him, "Looks like rain is a-comin'." Frank just responded with, "Yeah, I reckon it is." "Let's go inside. Our favorite show is coming on." The two of them muscled up from the bench with their canes. Frank shifted his position to ease on his back. He massaged his lower pelvic region as he waddled through the screen door with his wife. They shuffled their feet to the living room couch. It was like the two of them ran a marathon as they leaned back in their seats and let their air sweep through their lungs. Frank bent over to find the remote on the nightstand. He knew exactly what channel their favorite show was on. Agnes was reaching in from the side of the couch. By the time she got up, Frank smelled a familiar scent that he could not resist. It was tantalizing, soothing, and he wanted it so bad. Agnes said to him in her tired, timid voice, "Would you like to smoke this joint with me?" Frank turned to her with a peaked smile and replied, "You got weed?" Agnes told him, "This is some bomb-ass shit." "Let's tote that shit." As Frank and Agnes enjoyed their daily dose of marijuana, the television was staring at them. From the other side, in the heart of Washington, a middle-aged man, dressed conservatively in a suit more expensive than his life, watched them from the monitors. He was a balding goatee, very thin. He was seething with anger. Then he asked over the comm system, "Why is that old couple smoking weed? We didn't legalize it yet. Send in the troops. I want those two arrested." Out of nowhere, a SWAT team busted through their house. Frank and Agnes screamed as officials pinned them down and slapped handcuffs behind their backs. One of the officers said to them, "You're going to jail, Grandma." The government official paced around the room of monitors and telecommunications equipment as each screen from television sets, computers to the small screens on cell phones monitored every citizen in America. He was languishing in power, and because of this, he enslaved himself to find intel on every breathing person. He said, "I refuse to allow my country to not uphold the law. As God is my witness, I will create fear in the general public." He noticed a hot couple making out in the backseat of the car. The guy was well built, bald, and after she undid his pants, was well endowed. The girl was busty, model material, and had a smooth, naked body when she undressed herself. She said, "Oh, Tyler, give it to me." Tyler replied, "Oh, Shar, I love your naked body against mine." They were being monitored from their cell phone. The government official was watching everything. His anger split his lip and he ordered out, "Arrest them!" A team of cops opened their door and pulled the screaming couple out of the car. The government official laughed as he watched every monitor for every home. Then a female voice said, "Hey, why did you say I was busty?" I looked up at my computer monitor when I heard her say that. Practically, I flipped the screen of my manuscript over to Skype where I saw my ex-girlfriend Shar on the video monitor. A gorgeous girl with sharp, dark hair, a beautiful smile, and even in her late 30s she had a young face. She was communicating with me all the way from Hawaii. Some years ago she left me and remained in her hometown ever since. "My name is Tyler Moore. I'm 42 and just now trying to make something out of myself. One of the reasons Shar left me was because she felt I had an ambition. I had been lazy in the past few years to get this book done. Every now and then I would work on it, but sometimes life stuff got in the way. Unfortunately, part of my life stuff was more money problems, which got me in this mess with Shar in the first place. I answered her with, "This is going to be my magnum opus, Shar. Oh, and Busty just sounded better." "Oh, I see," she said. "Well, it's good so far. Thanks. Listen, just for motivational purposes, if this book's make it big, you think you can give me another chance?" "You don't need me to motivate you, Tyler. I'm not asking you for much. I just miss you, that's all." She smiled and said, "Oh, I miss you too, Tyler. How is everything going?" "Nothing much. I'm still trying to find Ramon a date." "You still hang out with him?" "Oh, you should hear this. Why, just last week..."